was a rather strange snowfall. It had been a little bit of snow through the day, showers, there was a light covering maybe, and then about 11 o'clock it started raining and sleeting. Rain and sleet, and then sometime after midnight it turned to snow, and snowed quite heavily for 2 or 3 hours at least. But luckily the wind died down. Well, I was dreading it because they were talking about winds of 60 miles an hour, which is bad enough in itself, and snowing at the same time. But in reality, the little low pressure that caused it went more or less directly overhead, so while it was snowing it was almost calm. A bit icy down here, but for driving, I mean, these pickups are very powerful and rear wheel drive, so you have to be quite careful anywhere near ice. Although it's kind of fun as well, you can sort of deliberately spin it. Ooh, that's not too bad. It's the 19th January today, and the sun's getting a bit more power to it. And we've got a good half hour extra daylight at the end of the day, which is really nice. It's like, this is what I mean, like here though, we're right down by the river, and to me there's more snow than we have at home. Just the wind hasn't got at it. To thaw it. This is just the quick run to Guisborough for some shopping. I haven't been for a couple of weeks, and I think I'll be busy next week because it's going to be drier and milder, hopefully. So I don't want to lose a day next week. It's not that long since we come over here and snow was up above the roof. That would be 2010, I think. We've had no real shortage of snow, but like shorter spells. It hadn't had that tendency to last for weeks and get more and more and more, like snow on snow. And all that. Pure luck, really. This winter has definitely been rather colder and rather snowier, probably than any one since 2010. Although I was just looking at some photos this morning, and 2013, a car stuck in snowdrifts down our lane. 2015 we were doing the house roof, about now of all times to do it, and he got about half of it done, and it was stopped for nearly 3 weeks, or certainly 2 weeks, because it was all covered in snow. You can't do roofing when it's covered in snow very well. When he was doing, we have a little bit of extension at the back, which is like a little kitchen type place, or utility room now, and he had the slates off that, and they were just putting insulation boarding in, and snow fell off the top roof like an avalanche, as it does nearly every time, and very nearly you're completely wrecked it. They were very lucky, because it just bounced on these insulation boards, and they're only relatively fragile. And then all that started melting and dripping in. I must say, we were doing the roof in the dead of winter, which was pretty silly really. He would try and do it, and it was the most stressful thing I think I've ever done. There was one night, the first night, they took half of it off, and they got a good part of it covered with the insulation boards, and he says, oh, that'll keep a bit of rain out. This was like in December, and the wind was gusting to about 50 miles an hour that night, and these bloody boards were boom, 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 boom. It was absolutely intolerable to be upstairs, absolutely horrendous. So I moved downstairs, and you could feel it vibrating the walls downstairs. But to give them their due, they were here early the next day and got it covered over. Once you got the underfelt stuff on, it wasn't too bad. In fact, it was just as well it wasn't too bad, because it was like that for several weeks while it was fully finished. We just had some problems where around the chimney the finished roof has like lead flashing. And when you've only got underfelt on, you don't have that. So there was one morning, it was like driving rain. There was snow melting as well, and it was all running down the inside wall in the attic and coming down into the front room. Not too bad, but if that wasn't bad enough, there's a electric junction box over the hot water tank and immersion heater, and that, it didn't exactly blow a fuse, it just stopped working because it had got damp. I think that's called Lockwood site. That's the first time I've seen that sign there. There's nothing happening. I'd turn the camera to the right, but there's nothing happening. There's some vans parked. And some things that look a little bit like high pressure water jets or something. I'm not quite sure what they're doing with that. They're doing something. I can actually see something's like steam coming up. I thought it might just be fine spray, like a pressure washer. But anyway, if nothing else, as part of it, we've got a proper right turn lane to go into the Castleton Road end, which you never had before. What that actually is, the site, there's a new polyhydrate potash mine planned just inland from Whitby, and they're supposed to be getting it to the coast by an underground tunnel, and And one of the access points for that tunnel is there, because they can't just tunnel the whole way. They have to have like shafts to take out the debris, and probably be some sort of airflow, air vent or whatever, I don't know. It's going to have like a conveyor belt in it, or possibly some sort of a track. A bit unclear really, I don't know. It all seems incredibly expensive way to do it, and seem to know what they're talking about. I'm honestly surprised it went ahead, not just on the planning, but the fact that it sounded a little bit technically unfeasible to me. Because no one really knows what's under the ground there, do they? You've got a rough idea. There might be all sorts of problems drilling this tunnel, which is most of 20 miles long. But it's quite a long-term project that will run for like probably 50 years, the actual mining. And this polyhydrate, I assume it's primarily a fertiliser of the potash. The potash mine at Bowby produces potash for fertiliser, but it does have other chemical uses. And as a sort of byproduct really, it produces rock salt, which is used a lot on the roads. I'm surprised how quiet it is everywhere. I don't know what we'd say when we get into town. This road's dry. It's a nice surface, that. It's an extra grippy surface for that bend. Was all about. There was, to be fair, a pickup in that side road, but it wasn't moving. Dear me. As usual, Guisborough has as much snow as we have, if not more. It's a funny place, so you don't think, you feel like you come down the hill and you're in this valley. We're actually still at about 400 or 500 feet above sea level here. It's quite a way down to the sea. If you go over that little ridge, you could drop down another state bank called Yearby Bank. There is snow right to the coast, just not very much. Probably nothing right on the seafront, but like at Bowlby it was white. surprises me how many people walk along here with little kids and such like. I think they're just going for a walk. There are a few houses on there, but not many. Seems like almost every possible space is taken up. I can see one here.